Greetings, fellow tech seekers. Sean from Silicon Theory here. It's Saturday, August 5th, and here is your 5 Minutes of Tech. Earlier in the week, there was a report about the specs leaking from the Galaxy Note 8 of Samsung. There was also a little bit of confusion surrounding the timeline with which the Note 8 would launch. There were conflicting reports at first, but eventually it sounds like the device is going to be released at least overseas on September 15th. That's a little bit earlier than the Note launches have been in the past, but there is also some speculation that that September 15th launch date might include the US as well. If it does, that's terrific news for Note owners in the past and those that are eager to get their hands on the Note 8 that's coming in the future. We have a little bit of the details as well as some stock photos, or renders actually, up on the site over at Silicon Theory, so make sure you head on over and check those out. In other news, there was an earlier report this week from Forbes that indicated that the two versions of the new Pixel device from Google, one fabbed by HTC and the other by LG, might actually look the same. Now, we've seen a lot of leaks of the LG version of this device, and it looks to copy the modern design of the Galaxy S8 and the LG G6. The smaller Pixel 2 device was previously reported to basically look identical, but the report from Forbes indicated that it may sport the modern design of the Pixel XL2. This was fantastic news for those looking for a sub 5.5-inch display device that sported flagship specs. Unfortunately, there were many other leaks of pictures, including one from famed Twitter leaker Evan Blass, aka EV Leaks, that indicated that the Pixel 2 is going to look a lot like the Pixel 1. Now, there are going to be some things that will be a little bit better, namely the large bezels on the top and bottom will sport stereo speakers this time around. But there's also some speculation, largely probably confirmed at this point, that it will not have a headphone jack. And to add insult to injury, the Pixel XL2 will also not have a 3.5mm headphone jack. We're giving that 2 thumbs down here at Silicon Theory. We're big fans of the headphone jacks, if for nothing more than just to listen to your audio devices, and also so that you don't have to live that #dongle life. The last bit of news is actually kind of interesting, and one that we've talked about before on the Silicon Theory podcast, available wherever fine podcasts are sold. The Chinese OEM Huawei, who happens to be one of the top 5 phone manufacturers globally, has announced that they have developed a partnership with AT&T to launch a phone, a flagship phone, on AT&T in early 2018. That means they will finally have a US carrier presence. This is big news for Huawei and probably not great news for some of the other Chinese manufacturers who haven't found a way to get a phone inside US carrier stores. As we mentioned before, most US buyers are probably going to walk into a Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile store, because nobody's walking into a Sprint store these days, and basically say, what's on the shelves? Yeah, I'll take that one. That's why iPhones are so popular. That's why Galaxy S devices and Note devices are so popular. And that means that not a lot of people are having an opportunity to take a look at some of the phones that Huawei's had to offer. The Honor 8 last year and the Mate 9 from earlier this year, late last year, are terrific devices, but they're not in carrier stores, and so most people didn't know about them. That looks like it's poised to change in early 2018. This could be a really big deal for Huawei. They make some pretty good hardware, and their devices have a tendency to be some of the top performing ones thanks to the custom microchips that they use, the Kirin series developed by HiSilicon. And there's also some very interesting news that this flagship that AT&T is going to get might just be the Mate 10. Imagine a pretty good size metal chassis mated with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery and the Kirin 970 processor, which is supposed to be a 10 nanometer process. Giant battery, power efficient CPU, that's all win for everybody right there. And their fingerprint scanners are some of the fastest. That sound that you're hearing means that it's time for me to go. That's been your 5 minutes of tech. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. You can get all of our content at silicontheory.com. follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We're very interesting, I promise. We are at Silicon Theory there, and you can find the Silicon Theory podcast on Google Play Music, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk tech soon.